I would like to say that business is business and love is love. So one of the things that works for us is that at work, for me personally, business is business, right?
I try to bring in love, Sha.
He tries to bring in love, but I mean, as you can see from the both of us, I'm purely a business person. So I think one of the things, of course.
My name is Radiant Ekemini, co-founder and executive director of Resta Bridge Limited.
My name is Esther Oroke Ekemini, co-founder and executive director of Resta Bridge Limited.
When I was a younger boy, I think in my JSS3, I was writing down a couple of things I wanted to do in life. Real estate was one of them. Not like that I really knew how I was going to do it, but along the line, as I grew, I happened to work as a branding consultant for a couple of real estate firms, and I picked a couple of ideas here and there. And when myself and Esther were planning to get married, we talked about some of the things we wanted to do. She was the marketing, babe, and I was the branding guy. And we thought about, okay, with my little knowledge about real estate and the fact that I was, building up to do something like this, we started to, think of something. And that's how Resta Bridge was bettered. Actually, the idea was before we got married, right? Yeah, that's how Resta Bridge was bettered. And then when we got married, we registered the company a month after our wedding. And so Resta Bridge is Ari from Radiant and Esther, formed Resta Bridge, and that was it.
I think one of the things I can just add to that is the fact that while we're dating, we knew that we were going to build something together.
Yeah.
We just did not know what industry was going to be at that point, because we had like this mantra, branding guy and marketing girl. So I've always been in sales, I've always been a marketing person too, and he was really good with branding. So we definitely knew we're going to collaborate at some point to build something. But initially, we did not know what industry was going to be. And later on, real estate just clicked for both of us. And I think we just had that gusher moment where we knew this was what it was going to be.
I remember we were on call several times before our wedding. We were talking about what name should it be. We explored a couple of names, came up with a couple of ideas.
Bridge.
I think the first idea was Wealth Bridge.
But it was taken.
Then, it wasn't available, and then we had to go for Resta Bridge, and that's how the journey, started. What was our vision?
Our vision was to actually get young people to invest in real estate, knowing that in today's world, maybe before 2025, a lot of people just found it really difficult as young people to invest in real estate, either because they did not understand the idea of real estate investments, or they just felt like real estate investment was for the older people. So we felt like being very young people, I think at that time I was 22.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was 22 and he was in his late 20s. So we just felt coming together as young people to drive the idea of young people buying real estate was a good thing for us. And it has worked out pretty well, right? Yeah,
very well. So getting young people to acquire properties, invest in real estate. And so it's not just limited to your age. It doesn't matter where you are. It's something you want to do. You can actually work towards it. Basically, that's what inspired us to start Resta Bridge. The good thing is that we're clocking 2, and in 2 years, we've been able to launch 2 estates. Our first estate has sold out over 70%. In this same period, we've also launched a service apartment, that's the Verge apartment, which is one of the finest, best place to stay in the city of Uyo. Also in this period, we launched Partner, which is a fractional real estate platform, that allows people wherever you are to invest in real estate. And also, recently we branched out to Abuja. These are milestones we've been able to achieve in the space of 2 years. So we now have Resta Bridge Abuja. Which other one did I miss out? I think that's all. Yeah, so that's one of the milestones we recorded in the last 2 years. And as we sit in on this conversation right now, we have
plans to launch new estate projects. We also have new investment opportunities that we have in the pipeline for our investors. I think in 2 years we've done really well.
God has been kind to us.
Yes, yes. Making money.
Making money, and the fact that we're a couple and we're able to do something that we love to do. So we work in the office and then we still take it back home, and it's seamless, and it just makes the whole relationship beautiful, and then we're making money along the line. So it's quite rewarding.
Is it seamless? Radiant actually believes I'm a workaholic and complains a lot about how I work 2/7.
She works too much.
So I don't think it's that seamless.
It's one of those things, you know.
I think one of the things that really set us apart is the fact that our clients trust us.
Yeah.
I think that's the major thing that has helped us grow as a company. We've been able to build trust because integrity is, top of the game for us. So if we have a project coming on, we have clients who subscribe way before the project is already in the market, So I think the fact that we put our integrity in the line to do business, and we've gotten our clients to trust us. Secondly, I think that one of the things that we offer as a company is the drive for development. So we're not just selling plots of land and, people buying land and living in fallow for years. We are development driven. I think that that's one of the major things that sets us apart in this market that is, very crowded at the moment.
And then also we work with a group of young people that are very innovative, and so we're thinking of the next innovation, we're thinking of the next brilliant idea. So we're not just following the trend and just doing what everybody's doing. So we try to think outside the box and create new strategies and new possibilities for our market. So that's one of the other things that sets us apart.
And talking about innovation, right, when we started Resta Bridge, partner wasn't even part of our initial plan. But as we grew as a company, we thought about a way for people, ordinary people, who do not even have millions to invest in real estate can actually become, co-owners of real estate projects. And that is how we're actually able to build the Verge apartments, because we had people come in with as low as 100,000 naira to become co-owners. And looking at how profitable that apartment is right now, I think you can just say that we have been innovative as a company.
Yeah.
It is difficult because, for example, last year we spent a lot of our time as married people apart. We were going from city to city.
He's always traveling. I'm always traveling.
One person is at home, the other person is out, and sometimes it happens that the day I'm coming back, he's traveling the next day. So I think it's been difficult, but
it's not really difficult. Difficult. I don't think difficulty is the word, because we're able to manage it. We're able to blend it. I don't think we have any problems in our relationship.
No,
we are doing very well as a couple.
Especially because we had a long distance relationship.
Yes.
I think that's the...
So apart from that, I think we've been able to find how to balance it. So we know when we should be together and when we can be apart. So we're able to, create priority for our times together and all of that. So even when we go to the office together, we come back together, we still bring some chunk of work to the house. But we're able to find how to do the work. Sometimes I usually tell her, okay, leave the work in the parlor. When we get to the bedroom, let's be a couple, But we just find a way to balance it, and we've been able to do that successfully in the last 2 years.
Yeah, can I say something there? I think that generally a lot of people think that managing relationship and running a business is very difficult. But I think in our case, one of the reasons why it's almost seamless, so when I say difficult, it's more like it's just something that can be quite a hassle. But I think we've just had, like he said, we've had this seamless blend. Like I've never sat down and I felt like, oh, this is so dramatic.
So dramatic.
And I think the major advantage that we've had is because we had a long distance relationship. So while we were dating, we were always talking. Until today, we are always talking. I don't think maybe 2 hours has passed, unless maybe the person is unreachable. We are always talking. So I think that's just what has helped us so far. We just know how to talk.
Why are you hesitant? Why are you hesitant? So what message do I have for young adults and young couples? First of all, let me talk about the couple. She's going to talk about the young adults. So as a young couple, I feel like getting married early is good if you can, if that's part of your plan. Another thing, it helps you to plan together. So if you get married early, you're a young couple, it's best that you begin to plan. Real estate is one of those investments you can hand over to your children. You can, give your children can pass it to even their children. That's more like the only investment that I know that can be transferred, from generation to generation. So just imagine when you get married early, you begin to, save for a particular real estate acquisition or investment or stuff like that. It allows you, by the time your children begin to come, you have assets you can pass down to them. At the same time, you have things that can build future finance for you as a family. So that's like the best thing you can give to yourself as a family. So as a young couple, plan towards investing in real estate, save up for it if you need to save up for it. If there are fractional real estate platforms, you can actually put your money in so they can get returns. But it's the surest investment that you can help acquire assets and hand over to your children and the generation after you.
I think for young people, one of the greatest roadblocks to investing in real estate is finances. So a lot of people think, oh, I don't have the 3 million handy. And this is what I always say. Initial deposits is one of the most powerful tools that you have in your hands to start your real estate investment. So a property might be worth 5 million naira. All you need to do is, if you have 500,000 naira, put it down. You'll be so surprised that within 6 months or 1 year, you have finished paying for that property. You're not the first person who is being scared of investing in real estate because you don't have all the money together. There are lots of people who have that same fear, who have actually overcome it. I have several testimonies of people who, before they started investing in real estate, they're like, oh, I don't have the millions, but then I have 500K, let me make an initial deposit. Yeah. So that is your most powerful weapon. Use it.
And sometimes if you're saving up to buy a particular property, by the time your money is complete, that property may not be the same value you wanted it. You thought about it when you were saving up. So instead of you saving and waiting, you can actually start with what you can afford at the moment.
That's true.
And then, before you know it, you've acquired several properties that you can even sell off later and acquire the main one that you wanted to get from the beginning. Radiant Ekemini on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. It's the same username across every Radiant Ekemini Tom. On YouTube as well, Radiant Billionaire on YouTube. So you can reach out to me on social media. And as a company, of course, we are a growing company and we have a team of young people. We always have opportunities for volunteers at some point. We also have opportunities for realtors, which it's an open window for anybody who's interested in coming into the real estate market. Realtor opportunity is the simplest, easiest way you can get into the real estate market. So if you want to connect with us as individuals or you want to connect us as a company, that's one of the channels you can get into the business, and we'll be willing and available to walk you through the journey.
So to connect with us, we don't actually have any couple anything. So just connect with us individually. If you like talk to Radiant, follow him on social media. If you like to talk to me, follow me on social media. If you like to talk to any of our representatives as a company, reach out to us at Resta Bridge, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. If you're looking for any form of mentorship when it comes to real estate, I would advise that you enroll in our Realtor Network. We give free trainings to people who want to get into the real estate market, either as investors or as mini players, that is, as realtors.
So that's how we can get to us. Thank you very much. Are we done?
I don't know.
We should just say something.
Your final words.
My final words.
Not like you're going to dash up.
My final words to you today is that make money. Basically, you need money to run a family. And it's best that in the earliest phase of your relationship, you begin to plan how you can invest together, how you can start a life together, and how you can channel the current resources you have to produce more resources for you, which is one of the beautiful things about real estate business. So it's more like you're investing now for a continual, it's not a short-term investment, it's something that can give you long-term returns, And I always advise young couples, young people, to pick real estate as one of their first, choicest investment arms. So that's my final words to you today.
It's very rare for me to say this, but I'm going to make a comment on people who want to run businesses as a couple. As a rule, Esther Rock does not give relationship advice, but in this context, let me say that if you ever think about running a business as a couple, one of the first things that I would advise you to do is to find a common ground, something that you are both interested in and passionate about. One of the reasons why Radiant and I have a seamless relationship when it comes to running a family and running a business is because we are both very passionate about real estate. So there is nobody being forced. Secondly, make sure that, I am a lawyer by the way, so I would say secure both ends of the bargain. Make sure that you are both very, very clear on what roles and take homes are for each party, right?
Talking about roles, as much as we are couple, husband and wife, and we're running Westerbridge, even in the company, our roles are clearly defined. Because sometimes the problem is that you bring in a partner and the partner's position in the company is not defined. So the partner is acting as second oga or second madam because of course.
Oga's wife.
Oga's wife.
There's nothing like that if you're partners in a business.
Exactly. So she is director of marketing, I'm director of operations, clearly defined. She has a department, she has people working with her, I have my department, I have people working with her, but it's collective goal of the company. So the roles must be clearly defined. Everybody knows what to do.
And lastly, like I was saying, you just have to be sure that when you're registering the firm, right, be sure of ownership structure.
Yeah.
If you are partners, if there's someone owning 51 and the other person 49, or if it is 50-50, make sure that you have all your legal paperwork in place so that tomorrow you don't say that you were cheated out of the relationship. Lastly, I would like to say that business is business and love is love. So one of the things that works for us is that at work, for me personally, business is business, right?
I try to bring in love, Sha.
He tries to bring in love, but I mean, as you can see from the both of us, I'm purely a business person. So I think one of the things, of course, I think one of the mistakes that people make is that they try to bring emotions into business decisions. So make sure that, I mean, if you cannot draw the line between emotions and business decisions, then you're not ready to start a business together as a couple.
Yeah.
Actually,
sometimes we even have conversations about Westerbridge. We are lying on bed or we're sitting in our bed, but then at that moment we know that we're talking about the business. So we are very, very articulate, and we try as much as possible to make sure that what we are talking about is objective, not sentiment or, oh, it's my wife, let me consider, oh, it's my husband. So as much as we may have the conversation in our bedroom or in the sitting room or in the office, when we're having conversation around the business, it's business. At some time, I was like, oh, we're done with business, let's shut down business. Let's get back to being, husband and wife. So you need to be able to define, the business conversations, the family conversations, and make sure that there's distinctive, separations about both of them.
I think it takes two very emotionally mature husband and wife to run a business together. So if you are not at that phase yet, just take your time and make sure you get there before you start a business together. If not, I might have to be referring you to divorce lawyers. So thank you so much for being with us today. It was nice talking to you guys.
Yes. So we're celebrating too, and it's a beautiful conversation with you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
As a young boy, I'd always wanted to do real estate. So I think at the point when we were planning to get married was one of the things we had conversations
Sorry,
about.
can you start again? Don't be angry. Okay? Don't be angry.
Bam! Smash aura. Yeah, when I was in JSS3, so one of the things I wrote down to one was real estate. I don't do it when I'm speaking now. I'm just adjusting before you the video. Yes, when I was in secondary. Hi camera, I'm looking at you.